everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to be looking at something that I think is really important, especially as we're heading into winter here.
Absolutely.
We're going to be looking at the support structure behind Ireland's healthcare system, and we're going to be doing that through the lens of Servisource's winter plan for 2024-2025.
That's right.
So this is a document that really outlines how Servisource plans to support the Irish healthcare system. And what's so interesting is how comprehensive it is. They're involved in every stage of life, from birth all the way to end-of-life care and everything in between.
That's what's so fascinating about this company, in that they really do have a role to play at every stage of a patient's journey. And their commitment to supporting the Irish healthcare system is so evident in this plan.
Absolutely. And even before we get into the specifics of the document, I'm already so interested by some of the things that Servisource does.
Oh.
Did you know that they help relocate nurses from overseas to work in Ireland? That they use assistive technology in home care?
It's really quite remarkable.
Yeah, it's such I think, a fascinating company with such an interesting approach to healthcare. So I'm excited to kind of dig into their winter plan and see what they have planned.
Yeah, me too.
So the document starts off by talking about this idea of a role to play at every stage. And it's this idea that Servisource is there for patients literally from the moment they're born all the way through to end-of-life care. So
It's a really unique approach because so many companies tend to specialize in one particular area of healthcare. But Servisource takes this much broader perspective, recognizing that healthcare needs change throughout a person's life. And they really aim to be there every step of the way.
yeah, it's really holistic, like you were saying, and it really does seem to align with the goals of the Irish healthcare system.
Absolutely.
Like this idea of providing comprehensive care for everyone. So let's actually talk about those first few moments of life. What kind of support does Servisource offer for newborn babies and mothers?
Well, through their midwifery and nursing division and My Home Care, they provide specialized care for both newborns and mothers.
Okay.
And you know what's really remarkable? They even offer 24/7 support for babies who require a little extra care.
Wow, 24/7. That must be so reassuring for families, especially in those early days when everything is so new and maybe a bit overwhelming.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about ensuring the well-being of both mother and child, particularly during those crucial early stages.
Yeah, I can imagine that makes a world of difference.
Oh, it does.
So we've covered those precious first moments, but what about as children grow and develop? What does Servisource offer in that area?
So they have a really important focus on developmental assessments. And this includes diagnosis and support for autism, which is particularly crucial given that there is a growing need for these services within the Irish healthcare system.
Yeah, I mean, early intervention is so key. It can have such a huge impact on a child's development,
Absolutely.
and it gives families the support and the tools that they need.
Right, and it's about those long-term benefits that early intervention can provide.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit and talk about education.
Okay.
What role does Servisource play in the lives of students?
Well, they have a dedicated education support division that focuses on assisting students with disabilities.
Okay.
They provide resources and support that can really help those students thrive in an academic setting.
That's amazing. I mean, it's so important to ensure that everyone has the opportunity to reach their full potential no matter what challenges they may face.
Right. It's about inclusivity and making sure that education is accessible to everyone.
Absolutely. And speaking of inclusivity, Servisource is also involved in supporting individuals as they enter the workforce.
That's right.
So what do they offer in that area?
Their occupational health services play a key role here. They focus on promoting employee well-being through a variety of initiatives.
Like what?
Well, they offer screenings for various health concerns, they have wellness programs, and they even provide mental health support.
So it's not just about finding a job for someone, it's about helping them to actually thrive once they're there.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that a person's well-being is crucial for their overall success in the workplace.
Yeah, I love that they're really taking a holistic approach to this.
And it reflects a growing understanding of how important preventative health care is, both for individuals and for employers who want to create a healthy and productive work environment.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of employers, I was reading that Servisource even offers a service called Check Your Candidate.
Oh, yeah.
What's that all about?
So this is a really handy service that allows employers to quickly and efficiently verify the qualifications of potential hires.
Oh, okay. So it streamlines that hiring process.
Exactly. And helps ensure that they're bringing on the right people for the job.
Smart.
Yeah.
Saves everyone time and hassle in the long run.
Absolutely.
Okay, so We've covered birth, childhood education, and even getting that first job.
Right.
But of course, life isn't always smooth sailing.
No, it's not.
What happens when things go wrong, like accidents or sudden illnesses? What role does Servisource play then?
Well, that's where their healthcare staffing division comes into play.
Hmm.
They provide both temporary and permanent staff to hospitals across Ireland.
Okay.
And this is absolutely crucial in ensuring that hospitals can continue to provide high-quality care, especially during those times when they're under immense pressure.
Like in the winter.
Exactly like during the winter months when there's typically a surge in demand.
It sounds like they're like the reinforcements
Yeah.
that come in and help keep everything running smoothly.
Precisely. And they play a vital role in addressing the staffing shortages that so many hospitals are facing these days.
It makes you realize just how many different pieces there are
Oh, yeah.
to this whole healthcare puzzle.
Absolutely.
But what about as people get older and might need more support in their daily lives? Where does Servisource fit in then?
That's where my home care comes back into the picture. Remember, they're the ones who provide those personalized home care packages. But here's where it gets really interesting. They've partnered with Isaac Care to incorporate assistive technology into their services.
Now, assistive technology, that sounds intriguing. Tell me more. What does that actually involve?
So imagine this. You have sensors strategically placed throughout a person's home that can detect things like falls. They can monitor medication adherence.
Whoa.
And they can even provide reminders for daily tasks.
That's incredible.
It's all about empowering individuals, especially the elderly, to live safely and independently in their own homes for as long as possible.
So it's like having an extra set of eyes and ears looking out for you, but in a way that respects your privacy and your independence.
Exactly. And as the population ages and the demand for home care services continues to grow, this kind of technology is going to become even more essential.
Yeah, because it allows people to stay in their homes longer, which is often what they prefer.
Right.
And it gives their families peace of mind.
Absolutely.
So it's a win-win all around. But what about during those peak times like winter, when hospitals are already facing increased pressure? Does Servisource have any specific strategies for managing that increased demand?
They do. They have specially trained rapid response teams that focus specifically on facilitating hospital discharges.
Oh, okay.
So these teams work closely with patients and their families to make sure that the transition back home is as smooth and as safe as possible.
So it's about freeing up those much-needed hospital beds.
Exactly. It's about providing the right care at the right time in the right place.
And sometimes the right place isn't the hospital.
Precisely. And unfortunately, there comes a time when even the best home care isn't enough.
Yeah, that's right. What happens when someone reaches the end of their life? Does Servisource offer support during that difficult time as well?
They do. Their home care division also provides compassionate end-of-life care for patients and their families,
Okay.
allowing individuals to spend their final moments in the comfort and familiarity of their own homes.
That's such an important service, to be able to say goodbye in a place that feels safe and peaceful, surrounded by your loved ones.
It is, and it really highlights the depth and breadth of Servisource's commitment to supporting people throughout their entire healthcare journey.
Wow, so we've gone from those first moments of life all the way to the very end.
Yeah.
It's incredible to see how Servisource is involved at every stage, providing that support and care when it's needed most.
It's truly remarkable, and it really underscores their holistic approach to healthcare.
Yeah.
They understand that it's not just about treating illnesses, it's about supporting people through every stage of life, through the ups and the downs, the joys and the sorrows.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
But before we get too sentimental, let's bring it back to the winter plan for a moment. How does everything that we've discussed fit into their overall strategy for supporting the Irish healthcare system during those colder months?
Well, their winter plan is essentially a reaffirmation of their unwavering commitment to the HSE, especially during those periods of peak demand. You know, they're dedicated to ensuring safe and continuous care no matter what challenges winter may bring.
So it's about being prepared and having the resources in place to meet the increased demand that winter often brings.
Precisely. It requires a lot of proactive planning, coordination, and really strong partnerships between all the different healthcare providers.
Yeah, for sure. And it sounds like Servisource is really stepping up to the plate
Absolutely.
to make sure that the Irish healthcare system can weather whatever storms this winter may bring.
Definitely.
Yeah, it really does sound like a perfect storm for healthcare providers, you know, when you've got flu season and bad weather and everything happening all at once.
Oh, absolutely. It's a very demanding time for the entire healthcare system.
But it sounds like Servisource is ready to step in and help weather that storm.
Exactly. Their winter plan is all about being prepared and being proactive. They're working very closely with the HSE to anticipate the needs and make sure that they have the right people in the right places at the right time.
Okay, so let's get into some specifics. What are some of the key services that Servisource is ramping up as part of their winter plan?
Well, their rapid response teams are going to be absolutely crucial.
Right, those teams that we were talking about earlier.
Exactly, the ones that help facilitate hospital discharges,
Yeah.
making sure that patients can safely return home and free up those valuable hospital beds.
It's amazing how they act as like a bridge between the hospital care and the home care,
Yeah.
ensuring that there's a smooth transition for patients.
And it's not just about getting people home, it's about providing that immediate follow-up care to make sure that they're doing well and that they don't end up back in the hospital.
Yeah. I can see how that would be so important, especially for elderly patients or those with more complex medical needs.
Absolutely, having that extra layer of support can make all the difference.
And that's where Servisource's home care services come in,
Precisely.
particularly their use of assistive technology. So they're really leaning into that Isaac care technology as part of their winter strategy.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about empowering people to stay safe and independent in their own homes, even during those challenging winter months.
Can you give me an example of how that technology might actually work in a real-life situation?
Sure. Imagine an elderly person living alone who's recovering from a fall.
Okay.
With Isaac Care sensors in their home, could detect if they were to fall again and automatically alert their caregiver or a family member.
That's incredible. It's like having a virtual safety net,
Yeah.
which must be so reassuring for both the individual and their family.
Exactly. It's not about replacing human interaction, but rather about enhancing it and making it more efficient.
And potentially preventing those unnecessary trips back to the hospital.
Exactly.
So it's a win-win for everyone. Patients get to stay in their homes, hospitals can better manage their resources, and the overall healthcare system runs more smoothly.
It's a great example of how technology can be used to really improve the way we deliver care.
And Servisource is at the forefront of this innovation.
They are.
It's not just about filling the gaps, it's about actively shaping the future of healthcare.
Precisely. And that's what makes their winter plan so inspiring. It's not just about getting through the next few months. It's about building a more resilient and adaptable healthcare system for the long term.
It's really impressive, but with such a wide range of services, how do they ensure that the quality of care remains high across the board?
That's a great question. And the answer lies in their commitment to training and development.
Oh.
Servisource has a dedicated training division that makes sure that all of their staff, from nurses to home care assistants, are equipped with the latest skills and knowledge.
So it's not just about finding bodies to fill positions, it's about making sure those individuals are properly prepared
Exactly.
and competent to provide that high-quality care.
Absolutely. And their close partnership with the HSE is crucial here. They work together to identify training needs and ensure that their programs meet the highest industry standards.
So it's a real team effort, which is reassuring to know.
Yeah, it is.
But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about our listener.
Okay.
Where do they fit into all of this? What's the takeaway message for them?
Well, for me, it's a reminder that we all have a role to play in supporting our healthcare system, whether it's getting our flu shots, being mindful of our own health, or advocating for better care in our communities. We can all make a difference.
Yeah, I agree. And part of that is staying informed. You know, the more we understand about how the healthcare system works, the challenges that it faces, and the innovative solutions that are being developed, the better equipped we are to navigate it and advocate for positive change.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power. And I think this deep dive into Servisource's winter plan has given us a lot to think about.
It definitely has. It's given me a new appreciation for the complexity of the healthcare system and all the dedicated individuals and organizations that are working behind the scenes to keep everything running smoothly.
And it's highlighted the potential of technology to really transform the way we deliver care.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to pose a question to our listener.
Okay.
How do you think technology will continue to shape the future of healthcare, especially in areas like home care and support for aging populations?
It's a question worth pondering.
Yeah, it really is amazing to think about all the possibilities that are out there.
Oh, the potential is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen how Servisource is using technology to support people in their homes, but just imagine the possibilities beyond that. You know, think about virtual consultations with doctors,
Yeah.
remote monitoring of chronic conditions, even AI-powered diagnostics.
It sounds like science fiction.
I know it does, but it's becoming a reality right before our eyes.
Yeah.
And it has the potential to make healthcare more accessible, more efficient, and more personalized.
It's exciting.
It is.
But I imagine there are challenges as well, right?
Oh, of course.
With any new technology, there are always, some bumps along the way.
Exactly. There are some really important questions that we need to be addressing.
Like what?
Well, for example,
Mm.
how do we ensure that everyone has equal access to these new technologies,
Right.
regardless of their income or their location?
Mhm.
And how do we balance the convenience of remote monitoring with the importance of human connection in healthcare?
Yeah, that's a really good point.
We don't want to lose that human touch.
Yeah, it's not just about the technology itself. It's about how we use it responsibly and ethically.
Absolutely. And we need to be having these conversations now as these technologies are being developed
Yeah.
to make sure that we're shaping the future of healthcare in a way that benefits everyone.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Servisource's winter plan and the future of healthcare, what's the key takeaway for our listener? What do you hope they walk away thinking about?
Well, I hope they'll recognize that healthcare isn't just about hospitals and doctors.
Right.
It's a complex system with so many moving parts, all working together to support people throughout their lives.
And Servisource is a vital part of that system.
Absolutely, especially during those critical winter months when the pressure's really on.
But even beyond that, I hope this deep dive has sparked some curiosity about the future of healthcare and the role that technology is going to play in shaping that future.
It's a fascinating landscape that's constantly evolving, and we all have a stake in it.
Absolutely. And it's not just about passively receiving care. It's about being informed and engaged, asking questions, and advocating for the kind of healthcare system that we want for ourselves and for our communities.
I couldn't agree more. This deep dive has been a journey through Servisource's incredible commitment to supporting the Irish healthcare system.
Yeah.
But it's also been a glimpse into the future of healthcare as a whole.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the importance of early intervention for children
Right.
to the compassionate care that's provided at the end of life.
Mm-hmm.
And we've explored how technology is transforming the way care is delivered, offering so many new possibilities for the future.
It's been a really insightful exploration, and I hope our listener feels empowered to continue learning and engaging in these important conversations.
If this deep dive has sparked your interest, we encourage you to visit Servisource's website to learn more about the amazing work that they do.
Absolutely.
And don't forget to share your thoughts and your questions about the future of healthcare.
Yeah. What are you curious about?
What are your hopes? What are your concerns?
Let's keep this conversation going.
Yeah.
Because the future of healthcare is a conversation that we all need to be having.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged.